Hey kids, welcome back to Enter the Atmosphere. We just got back from California and we survived Vietnam. So we're going to bring you all kinds of cool stuff and show you what we get to see. Got to see a lot of old friends.
New friends. And we also got to see some of you guys that watched the show, which was the coolest thing.
That was cool. Very cool. Met some folks from all over the world. We met a couple from Paris. Yeah, from Paris. So, merci beaucoup.
Yeah, so we're going to walk you through the whole thing. And first, let's start with the team. Here's a shot of us all cheersing to start the week.
Hey guys, kicking off NAMM 2024 with my buddies. Here we go.
Cheers
Word
up,
up.
everybody. Cheers it up.
There we go, yeah.
Try not the best.
Okay, we put in the Atmos theme.
Okay, night one, we got to go right over to Santa Monica and head over to the Apogee Party. Greg and Christina and everybody there threw an amazing party.
It was awesome.
There was food, there was Genelec rooms everywhere to listen to Atmos mixes.
That's right.
And there was also some special performers.
Yeah, we had the one and only Cory Henry.
It was
and
amazing.
he brought it. Him and his band called the Funk Apostles, and it was ridiculous. His version of the Prince thing, 1999.
1999.
Oh,
and you know what? We have a clip of that.
Yeah, check this out.
Let's pop that in here. Oh man, wasn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude,
that was a trip.
He's sick. That was unbelievable.
I know.
Yeah. And we actually left early that night, the whole team, because we were flying all day. So
Yeah.
he was still cooking.
playing.
Yeah, he played for like 4 hours.
He
or
was
something
not going to be
ridiculous.
stopping. He
Yeah.
clearly was having the best time of his
It
life,
was
and
awesome.
so were we
It was
watching
awesome.
him.
And the food was good.
Yes, I took many pictures of food.
Yeah.
So, just this whole trip.
That's it.
We also got to see so many other faces like Mitch from Sweetwater and Carrie.
Carrie Thomas, from
Yes.
Apple, and
some other mixers like Richard.
Justin
and
Gray,
Justin
who I
Gray,
met that night, and actually
Canada.
we wound up doing the Genelec thing together, and
Yes.
that was fun.
Yes.
So,
and
yeah.
just so many people at the party. It was a blast. Thank you, Apogee, for the invite and having us.
Yeah, it was an awesome party, and we'll bring you more and more. We got tons of footage from it, so we'll share it over the next few episodes. All right, guys, if you've never been to NAMM and how it's set up, it's right by Disney World, which is a blast. It's cool. So there's two hotels. There's like the Hilton and the Marriott, and every single night there's a stage at each one of them, and there's nonstop music. I mean, to the point of
all kinds of music too.
everything from Latin to hip hop to
blues
to
Americana.
experimental.
Yeah.
There's some weird ones. What about the guy in the silver hair? Oh Lord.
He took a good picture for me though.
Yeah, that's cool. I have to pop that up,
Yeah.
show everybody. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. So we went into NAMM, and right out of the gate, we ran into our buddy Michael Grace over at Grace Designs, and he showed us. It's not new, but it was new to me. I never got my hands on it. Their monitoring setup where you can, listen in Atmos stereo, flip around and stuff, and it's just a killer piece. They make great stuff. Their stuff is absolutely just top of the line. But
Yes, Michael at Grace Designs was so kind to us, so shout out, and we cannot wait to just continue the partnership and the relationship there.
yeah, I think we're gonna review a piece of gear and that headphone thing coming up in a future episode. So yeah.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Okay, so we're wandering around the hall, doing our thing, making our rounds, and Miss Fearless here goes. I see Rick Beato, and I fanboy. I'm like, oh, there's Rick Beato.
And I was like, okay, well, we need to talk to him.
I said, well, I don't know him. I've never met him. And before I could even say anything, Rocket, shoot, she's over there. She's
like,
in.
hi, excuse me, Rick, can we please talk to you for a second? Like, I need to make sure I introduce you to Jeff.
Yeah.
And we literally, he was so kind.
So kind.
We started talking to his team, and it sounds like they're
Yeah, sounds like we're going to work
These-
something out, either him going on this show or vice versa. We'll
Whatever.
see. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever it is he wants to do. I'm yes.
But we snagged this picture, so
Yeah.
check this out.
yeah.
So right after, we went right to Jeff's speaking engagement over at Genelec.
Yeah, it was cool. Ben Givers and Justin Gray were there, and we got to talk everything Atmos and geek out. And get to listen to Justin's project that he actually recorded from inception, which is kind of what we preach around here all the time about, Atmos first, and actually creating and writing and doing things with that
It
in
sounded
mind.
really good.
And yeah, he took it to the next level. I mean, we're talking insane,
But the two of you back and forth was so magical and special. And there was a time where you were describing something that you do, and he was like, ditto, man. And that was the coolest
that was pretty
thing.
fun, yeah.
So here's a little clip of that.
To me, the center channel is great for film. It's great for dialogue, and I call it the cricket. I won't use it. I don't use it at all. To me, a vocal doesn't sound right in that center channel because we're so used to Phantom Center. We're used to hearing it that way. And I have other tricks that I use to get it big in the room, but I hardly ever use the center channel for anything. And there's nothing wrong with it. I know there's a lot of really fabulous engineers that do, and they make it sound great. But when I try to make it sound great, it sounds like a cricket. So so that's why I don't use the center channel.
Back to that.
Yeah.
So with the one that you saw of mine would be a rare use of me going so center channel, and that's because my intent for that project is to release it cinematically. And I have studied what it means to go to a movie theater. And if you don't use a center channel in a movie theater, it's bad news.
Yeah.
So I'm designing that one with that intent, right? And so this is where we talk about if we know the format, we have to understand as engineers. It's very complicated to understand where's this going. So if I'm working on a song that's largely going to live within a streaming ecosystem, headphone listeners, I'm the exact same.
Yeah.
Phantom center is a beautiful thing. It's the way oftentimes that the artist is used to, most importantly, that's the way that vocalist is used to hearing their voice. So they can be, sometimes they're into it, sometimes they're not, most of the time they're not. When we study the headphone translation, which we're not dealing with here, I'm looking at your mix, hearing your mix, I know what it's like, and I know it's tight, it sounds amazing in headphones. And we have to work hard to do that, and so there's techniques that I think allow for translation. So with my own, I'm like blowing it out and going, I'm making a cinematic music experience. And quite frankly, later on, from that, I'm gonna make one for streaming, like after the cinema version, and I likely will parse out the center channel, and then I will make stereo from that. So I'm going to do a stereo fold down. I'm going to tweak things because there's a lot of microphones in that project. That some of them may not need to stay in stereo. You know what I mean? So I'll go through, mute some stuff, tighten some things up because when it all folds forward, you don't need all of that ambience. But that's where my session stereo is going to be derived from the Atmos first, and I know you do that too. And it's powerful because if I'd gone backwards, I'd never have that opportunity to have that perspective. I would have already baked my perspective into two speakers, and then I have to sort of undo what I think the record is. So again, there's just so many ways to go about it, and
That's
yeah.
very good for me. I'm just embarking on a concert video.
So hey, did you notice, when I was doing the thing did you see those speakers on the left and right?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
Did I see the speakers?
And you heard them, obviously.
They're so big.
Those are the 8381As. And hey, shout out to Genelec because they won Loudspeaker of the Year from the Tech Awards. Yeah, we had a couple pictures of that. But yeah.
Shout out to Paul and Stephanie and Eric.
You guys, man, thank you for everything. You guys were world class to us, and
So
we appreciate
warm
it.
and welcoming.
And boy, those speakers are going good in here.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Is that
Congratulations.
subtle? Yeah, cool. All right.
Okay, now we're gonna straight up geek on you guys just a little harder because let's be real, we do that the whole time. Did I not say that a million times in LA?
In LA.
AKA Anaheim.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to go over to the Neve booth.
That was, it's hard. I've been in the business a long time. It's hard to impress me. Where I'm going, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
I was freaking recording you.
I was
and I was like, come over here, Andrew.
Everybody, come here.
He's drooling. We need some help. And literally Hugh and Matthew
and Joseph. Yeah, they were so cool. Well, let me tell you what this piece is. So, I've seen a lot of consoles that try to, work their way into the ecostructure of Atmos, and nothing's really blown me away where I go, ooh, that's going to be helpful, or that's just going to be cool and slow me down.
Right, because there's so much technology out there, and not gonna lie, guys, some of it is like
some
makes you feel dizzy, or like it's really intense. So this one though,
I sit down. They have a brand new console. It's based off their Genesis line, but it's called the G3D, and man, it was absolutely unbelievable. And the reason why it was unbelievable is that subtle. The reason why it was so awesome is because it's the first console I've seen. It's got a touch screen where you can do your panning and stuff like that, but it's also got knobs that you can actually do your panning on, and that's all cool and dandy. That's nothing new from like an S6, but here's what the difference is. You've got analog input that's going right back into Pro Tools, so you can actually cut into this thing, and it starts at 8 channels and goes up to, I think you can build it as big as you want, 64, 32 or 64. Anyways, it sounded amazing, and then the part that blew me away is you can be working on your Atmos mix, hit a button, work on the stereo portion
like at the same part.
Yeah, and not affect either each. It just that sold. I mean, because that's the big thing is if you can come in and you can mix Atmos first and do your stereo kind of at the same time, because you're going to EQ things a little bit differently because you're cramming a whole bunch of stuff into a 2-speaker situation versus 14 or how many of you got. So you do things a little bit different, but it's very similar. But this actually speeds up the process beyond belief, and I'm like, okay, well.
We have our eyes on this board, so here is some footage to share with you when we were checking it out right away. Here it is.
All right. So, tell me a little bit about. I've heard rumors. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard. Yeah. It's an Atmos.
It is. So basically, what we've done, we've taken the existing infrastructure of the Genesis, which is digitally controlled analog.
Yes.
So just like the OPX, the OPX actually came from the Genesis. Very similar design and preamp. There's 1073 transformer balance, but has digital control. And this console is a hybrid board. It's all analog circuitry with digital control over pretty much everything. So what we've done is we've enabled an Atmos workflow in a hybrid way. So you can actually pass audio through the channel strips. So you're getting all the benefit of the EQ, the dynamics, fader moves, and then it goes back out digitally into Pro Tools across the Dolby audio bridge to the renderer, and then we can control all the object metadata from the console. So you can assign any object that you like. You can use the touch screen to 3D pan anywhere in 3 dimensions, or we have new encoders touch sensitive that allow you to position for the console. So
Absolutely.
So with this system here, as you can see in the renderer, I'll just turn this down. So you can see that these are the objects that we've still got around through the console into the renderer. This is right here. This is the main vocal. So I've actually screen, or you can use the encoders here to do the panning. Or you can use a combination, so you could do XYZ panning with a two-handed motion like this.
How does it handle stereo objects?
So stereo objects, so if I go into the object selection tab, you can see here, this is the objects that I can take hold of. Oh, and it represents what you see in the renderer. So I can select an object just by tapping it here. Or if we have a stereo object, you can tap and hold to create a stereo object. So you see 29 and 30. Object 29 and 30 there. This is a stereo object. So I can move around. And we have different mirroring options.
So you just bring up the
Highlight the track. Yes, exactly. So the object assignment in Pro Tools, you just take note of which object your vocal is on or your guitar, and then you select the object from the console here. So you can toggle through it.
individually go to a set.
Exactly,
That's
yes.
painting. That's really it.
And by having the touch screen, it's a really easy way to position anything around you very quickly. You can just reach out, say I want that behind me or above me. You can do that very quickly. Here is the Genesis Control plugin. Now this is our proprietary plugin, and it's basically a remote control interface for the console. So everything you see here, the EQ, the dynamics, that's actually the analog EQ, the analog dynamics inside the board, and we're remotely controlling it. So you can automate them. It doesn't mean you don't have to recall anymore. Basically, you don't have to recall anymore. And as you can see, the objects, I can also position them like this. So I go back to object 18 here. So I can position from here or from here, and that means I can automate that object from the plugin as well. So I can just add it as a automatable parameter on the Cross's timeline.
So you take your track and you put it in a right mode or whatever. Can you grab the mouse and grab this and actually physically move it?
Yes, exactly. So
I have a tendency to do that a lot.
well, that's it. I mean,
I'm a mouse guy.
Let's do it. We'll add the parameters in. So now, basically, if I set the track to write mode, or touch, whatever, touch or whatever. So basically, you can use the mouse to draw it in.
There you go.
Or I can use the touch screen here, or I can use the touch sensitive encoders. So you've got multiple ways you can do this.
That's really neat.
And then if we play that back, you'll see the automation will play back. And it becomes those three parameters. So LCR, front and back.
There you go. That's awesome.
Now, in addition to the object control, what we've done is we've added this new section here. So we have the local stereo monitoring system, which is unaffected by what we're doing in Atmos.
Okay.
So you can actually mix in stereo locally through the console's busing system and in Atmos at the same time, because obviously the internal cams don't affect what you're doing here. It's a completely separate parallel system. So you can do a stereo mix and then you can toggle into 3D mode. And if you see the Dolby renderer, I can adjust the output level of the renderer from the console surface, including object cut, bed cut, master mute, master dim. I can also toggle between the input and the master tab on the Dolby renderer as well, so you can see I can toggle those two. And you can record on the master track from here. Massively, yeah. We've got a dedicated group of render-specific controls right on the console.
Well, you just pointed out how the Heisermann render like separate computer
For Pro Tools, a lot of times I pitch myself doing this. Click here.
Yes, exactly. It eliminates all of that. And we've also got another piece of hardware that forms the back end of the system. So our 714 speaker ring here is connected to the AVA16 that you can see in the rack unit. So that's the 16 in, 16 out analog to Dante, Dante to analog converter. And that's connected to our speaker. And what we can do with that. So that's that's correct. Yeah. So that's like our matrix. Equilateral square. So unless you have the main if you want further control over that, I can cut individual speakers, or I can cut groups, or solo individual speakers. So we can remotely control control the outputs of that unit from the console.
That's so handy.
So basically you've got an intuitive software and hardware platform that uses a combination of built-in hardware, built-in software, and external devices, just the one external device, to give you full control over your speaker array and objects.
If I were to come in a standard configuration like this,
So this is the smallest Genesis that we do. This is the 8-channel version. And the 8-channel version is good for singer-songwriters, hip-hop producers, perhaps. But we can go up to 16, 24, 32, or even 48 as a maximum.
this would be phenomenally up to that. Non-stop.
Yeah.
This would be perfect. This is amazing. Never thought anybody would actually do it. I've seen people try it. That's not as cool as this. This is awesome. This is the answer right here. Oh, okay. I got a good story. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're all standing around. We're at the Hilton, and it's getting late, and it's like, yeah, I'm like, I'm tired. Grandpa's got to go to bed. So I look over, and there's this guy standing there. Or actually, first, let's tell. So this guy comes walking by.
No, you don't have to tell that part.
No, that's the best. That's the best part. So this guy's coming by.
Flip flops.
Oh yeah, he's got flip flops and a t-shirt
And his
on,
shirt says
with about half
dog.
his belly hanging out, and he's just like cruising through this,
And Jeff and I both
party.
collectively go,
What?
do like the
Yeah.
eye as he's walking by.
What the heck? And these three guys are standing over there,
And
and
we
they
start
start
talking to
laughing
them.
because
Yeah.
they're laughing at us, laughing at this guy in the flip flops. So I look at this guy over to the left, and he's got a shirt that says Heisermann on it, and I go, dude, I love those mics, man. Those are really cool. And he goes,
Well, that's me.
I'm
Eric Heisermann.
I went,
Heisermann.
Wow. You
Yeah.
never know who you're going to meet there. But yeah, great guys. They turned out to be so much fun. And hopefully we're going to have one of those lovely 251s in here very soon for a bunch of our artists to try out and promote the good word of Heisermann, because it's my favorite 251 out there on the market right now. And they've got other things too. I haven't got to check those out. But I've checked out the 251, and it's thebomb.com. So, anyways, check us
Those are
out.
great.
Yeah, it's show. The man, Heisermann here, that made my favorite mic, and this is the man that builds all of my favorite.
Dave, what's up?
How you doing? So it's Heisermann 251. This is what I became familiar with. A whole line of different ones. Tell us about what all you guys got.
So we have our 47 too, so kind of our flagship mic. We have the H251. We have a FET 47, the H47 FET. And we also have our small mics, the Type 19, which has the same capsule as the 47 too, 47 FET. And now we have the new Type 21, which has the same HK12 capsule as the H251. Wow. So, yeah, so you get basically the same kind of sound. It's on two, but you get all the fidelity of the capsule, and it's, a lot more work.
Well, I shot out a whole bunch of 251s from an original telefunken all the way through all the different ones, and blind test with more than myself, hands down. Very, and that's no BS, right?
We're gonna get you one.
I want one. I'll preach even more.
I want to hear it in immersive.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
So what would be really amazing to do is to, I got some ideas on that. Yeah, how I can do it in my room. It'd be really, really cool.
Yeah. We're not far from Nashville.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's about it. This is the hard part, is wrapping this up, because I could go on and on and on. There was so much more. We didn't even get close to covering it all. But last but not least, I want to thank my partners, Andrew, Will, and Dane, and my special co-host, Kirsty, and our buddy, Doug Simpson, and his wife for helping us just make everything just flow. And it was back to back to back to back of doing really great things. So just want to say thanks, and everybody have a blessed week, blessed weekend, and I'll see you next time.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell down below, and make sure you get notified for all of our upcoming episodes here at Enter the Atmosphere.